The next time you wish to perform something really out of the ordinary, perform the Vanish. It starts off as a regular four-of-a-kind routine. In this case, I'll be using the four aces. But at some point along the way, something very unexpectedly happens. Actually, the deck will disappear. That's right, it really does disappear. But it doesn't travel very far. The cards always travel to your pocket. Now, after the deck has been brought back out, you have your four aces. You can go into your fabulous four-ace routine. To perform the Vanish, you're going to be needing a regular deck of cards with one joker on the bottom, the four aces from your regular deck of cards, take the ace of spades, and leave it in the deck. You're only going to be working with three regular aces. Next, you need a gimmick, half of a pack, a block of cards all glued together with a magnet on the inside. I'll show you how that's made up very simply in just a moment. You're also going to need a duplicate ace of spades, but this ace of spades is a double card, double thickness, with a metal shim on the inside, which will stick to that block of miniature cards, the cards that have been cut in half. The setup is like this. The regular deck is in your left pocket. The three regular aces plus the metal shimmed ace of spades is on top, and they go on top of the block of cards. And because the ace of spades has the magnet or the metal shim in there, it will actually keep the rest of the cards all in alignment and they won't move on you. These are inside the pack, inside the card case. When I dump the cards out of the card case, I be sure to push with my first finger, push backwards, and that will line everything up together. Otherwise, they would have come out of the card case like this, and you don't want that. So you push with your first finger, and everything lines up together. You then reposition the pack so you can hold it as if you held a regular deck of cards. You thumb off the top ace of spades, thumb off the next one. It goes underneath the ace of spades, the third ace. On the last ace, I'm going to do a wrist kill with my left hand as I take the last ace away. If I don't, they'll see just a half a block of cards there. So I do a wrist kill as I show the last ace. I then turn the aces face down and they go on top of the deck in my left hand, face up. So when I turn everything over, the four aces are now face up on top of a face down deck, supposedly. You now have to transfer one ace from top to bottom. You simply take it off, place it on the bottom. That positions your ace of spades with the metal shim in the center of the spread of these four aces, and that's very important. Now to make the deck of cards vanish. You simply square up the aces. You do the push through the fist move where you're supposedly pushing the cards through your fist with your thumb. Looks just like this. You're just pushing them right through, just like that. You do the through the fist move after you're in this position. You square them up. Through the fist move, you grab the four cards protruding out the other end of your hand. You fan them out immediately. Now remember, the block is still held in your left hand. You fan them out, and as you turn your left hand over behind the fan of cards, you make contact and pick up that block of cards on the back of the fan. You gesture twice. You come up, you gesture twice here, you snap your fingers, you close the fan up with the block on the back side of it, you snap these fingers. Now as you come down, you take away the four aces, you come down and spread them out, and the block is contained in your left hand as you go to your pocket to retrieve the other deck of cards. So you bring the other deck of cards out, or the regular deck out, and spread them, and now you're ready to go into a four ace routine. But the only problem is you have one ace which has a magnet or a metal shim on the inside. We need to get rid of that card. Very simple to do. Place all 4 aces on top of the deck. The ace of spades, the gimmick one, goes on last. Remember the joker was on the bottom, it's still there. Simply give the cards a cut, and when you're ready to perform your next effect, say, oh, by the way, I forgot to remove the jokers from my deck of cards. You run through the cards till you find the first joker. The ace of spades is going to be right next to it, so you show the joker, lay it face down on the table. You then go through the cards looking for the other joker, but you take out the gimmick ace of spades with the metal shim. You toss that down on the table. They think you've just removed 2 jokers. You can pick them up and perform the frustration count, again showing the 2 jokers. And that involves nothing more than showing the bottom card, peeling off the top card, showing the bottom card again, and you place the jokers away. Now you're finished with a perfectly clean deck to go into any of your other favorite routines. In order to make the gimmick for the Vanish, which consists of a small half of a block of cards with a magnet on the inside, plus 1 steel shim card, which will be attracted to that magnetic block, this is how easy it is to make. You take 20 playing cards and you cut them in half. You can use a pair of scissors to cut those 20 cards in half, and after you've done that, you end up with a block of 40 playing cards. You take 38 of those playing cards and you punch a hole in the center of them by using a paper punch, which you can buy at any craft store, or if you want to, you can do it by hand and use a hand punch to actually punch the holes out. So after you've punched the holes out of all 38 of them, then, and they're all glued together, you glue these all together by using a glue stick. After they're dry and hardened, you take the 39th half of a card and you place it on top. And you glue it in place with a glue stick all the way around, just like you've done with the other cards. After you've come this far, then all you need to do is to glue a magnet on the inside. Glue a magnet which can be found at any craft store, a heavy-duty magnet, no less. Pick out a heavy-duty one if you can, and you glue that on the inside of your half of a block. You glue it, actually ends up being glued to the top card. You can use a glue gun for that, or you can use double-stick Scotch tape if you want. That works also. After you've glued that on the inside, you take 1 other half of a card. This is your 40th card, and that gets glued to the bottom of the packet. So you end up with a magnetic packet just like this one. You end up with a magnetic half of a pack of cards sealed within a block. The last thing you need to do is to simply take the ace of spades and find a metal shim. Now for a metal shim you can use something very as easy as this thing here. This is a blade from an X-Acto knife which I've placed in between these 2 cards, which I've Scotch taped together. I've used double stick Scotch tape to put these cards together. So there's actually a metal shim running up and down between these 2 cards. In the end, you're going to end up with a steel shimmed card, 3 regular aces, which you'll be using in the routine, and a half of a pack of cards with a magnet on the inside, which will be attracted to that ace of spades, which is up on top. When it's held in your hand, it looks like a regular deck of cards, enabling you to perform the Vanish.